everybody, and welcome to this time lapse. We've got these beautiful red geraniums sitting in a terracotta pot. I took the reference myself. We went to a beautiful kind of like a manor house that had been converted into, I think it is a hotel as well as a restaurant, and they grow all their own vegetables and fruit, and it's just a glorious place here in the southwest of England. We went there for my father-in-law's 80th birthday. Anyway, so I took this photograph and I just loved it. I loved pasteling geraniums as well as terracotta pots. I just find it so much fun. Anyway, so I'm working on the Sennelier Le Carte pastel paper here. The color is called light gray. Personally, to me, it's more like a light khaki. It's definitely got a green tone to it. But because I'm covering all the paper in soft pastel, it doesn't really matter. Starting off with some very dark green for the background. You can see in the reference photo that I've got up here, there's lots going on in the background. You've got another building, but I decided to eliminate the building and just put greenery because I also wanted to play with the complementary colors of red and the complementary of red being green. So I went in with a very green background using Sennelier's 179, it's black green, as well as a mixture of some other greens. I've got a little bit of like a minty green in there too, just to suggest foliage. Everything is very soft and out of focus, and I achieved that by layers of pastel and lots of rubbing in. So I've got no harsh lines in the background, which is exactly what I wanted because I want the subject, being the terracotta pot with the geraniums in, to jump out. So using a lot of Sennelier here because if you're looking for vibrant color, Sennelier is the brand that I go to. They just do the most beautiful, I mean, their green selection's beautiful, their reds are beautiful. So I'm using a mainly Sennelier with a few pastel pencils here and there, and also the darkest red that you can see in these geraniums is the Terry Ludwig from the Dark Intense 2 set. I think it's R180. I literally have a crumb left and I'm using my last little crumb. I've got to order more, but annoyingly you can't buy them here as open stock in the UK. You have to buy the whole box of 30, which is like £223, and well, I don't have money for that, especially if I'm only using two. Out of the box, I should say I frequently use two colors. No, I'm lying. I frequently use three, of which two of them are nearly finished. So out of a box of 30, I'm really paying £223 for three pastels I use. Anyway, never mind. That's by the by. Forget that. Let's go back to the painting. So you can see I'm using a lot of pastel pencils just to kind of get my shapes and my placement where I want things to go, and then I'll bring in the soft pastels to really make that significant mark. See, so here you can see I outlined the terracotta pot just to see where it's going to go with some sanguine by Comte. Then using a mixture of pastel pencils as well as some pastels to bring this what is it? It's a terracotta pot to life. Want to make sure I get that shadow on there. So in the shadow, I've actually used a dark greeny gray. You may not be able to see that so much on the camera, but again, I wanted to play with the complementary colors of green and red. So bringing in very reddy terracotta colors, again to enhance the green, and as you can see just throughout the piece, that is my main goal for this one, is like I'm going to play with red and green, and I think it works out quite nicely. So even this light color that I'm putting on there was a gray by Rembrandt, and again it had red in it. It's not just a black white in the middle kind of gray, it's definitely got reddish tones in there. Here you can see me taking that green gray. I think it's Unison Gray 34, don't quote me on that. But yeah, so just playing again, bringing in anywhere I can bring in green or reddish tones, just to follow with the story of this one. Well, part of the story being the use of complementary colors. So You can see building up that table. I did that quite liney. If you look at the photo reference, you can really see the grains of the wood. I decided to take that out of my painting. I found it was too distracting. You already had quite a lot going on with the shadow and all the geraniums. So I decided to take a lot of the lines out. It was, like I said, just too distracting. So that's what I love about pastel. You can make lots of corrections when you build in soft, gentle layers, which is what I'm doing. I'm working on the paper exactly the same way I'd work on pastel mat. This paper does take layers, maybe not quite as much as pastel mat, and it's definitely more textured than pastel mat. So over here you can see me correcting, making that a straight line at the back there for the table, and it just works for a better composition. If you've enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.